What's going on, guys? It's Professor Gnome, and today I'm finally bringing you guys Magcargo EX, focusing on the ground burn attack. I've been testing this deck out a lot and trying to figure out exactly how I want to play it and different ways to go about it, and this is the way that's been working out the best for me, but I'm really curious to see how you guys are playing it. The way that I'm focusing is that I'm going to be using Armarouge and a combination of that, Magma Basin, and EXP share, in order to keep Magcargo's powered up, since its attack does take a little bit long to get working. We also run one copy of Mel in order to try to help mitigate that and always keep a Magcargo ready to go. The A-spec of choice that we're going to be working with is Maximum Belt. In order, really why we want to do this is that a lot of targets, let's say something like Dracopult EX, or a Raging Bolt that has a Bravery Charm attached to it, or something like that, where it hits a little bit over 290. We need the Max Belt, since we can only guarantee the energy off our own deck. We can't guarantee the energy off our opponents. So we're trying to boost up that 280 number, so we don't need to hit both energies. So the best way that we're going to do that is we're going to utilize Morpeko in order to check what's on our top deck and make it more efficient. And we're also going to go with Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking. I tried Team Star Grunt in order to remove our opponent's energy and put it onto the top of their deck, but you just get way more value out of Cypher's Maniac, so that's what I ended up with. We also run a Jet Energy to try to get our Magcargo into the active if we need to switch things around, and we also run 2 Boss, since we need to be able to pick what targets we want to be able to KO. And so yeah, that's most of the list, guys. Definitely let me know what you think of the list. Be sure to let me know how you guys are running it or any changes that you would make. I've also tested playing the Hyper Aroma instead of Max Belt, which is pretty nice because we play multiple stage 1s where like we want to get our Bibarel in play, we want our Aromage and things like that. But again, not being able to guarantee KOs on things like Dracopult or Raging Bolt if it has a Bravery Charm, or even something like a Blissey, is really detrimental. So I feel like you need to have the Max Belt in order to make sure you're hitting those damage numbers at least semi-consistently, in order to get this card to work. But yeah, definitely let me know. Be sure, if you like the deck, to like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to let me know what you want to see in the next video, and be sure to join the community Discord. If you're watching this the day it comes live, I'll be making a post on the channel, but you can also look for it in the description down below. We have our first community Discord channel tournament later on today at 6 p.m. EST, so be sure to join into that. I know a lot of people have been joining today. The community's growing a ton, and so yeah, the first prize will be 15 pack codes for Twilight Masquerade. The second place will be 10 codes, and yeah, we're looking to do these bi-weekly, so be sure to join. We will edit them as they go in terms of adjusting prizes and stuff like that. So yeah, be sure to let me know what you guys want to see next. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the tournament and the Discord, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 1. Our opponent's going to be going first. We'll see what we get off the draw. We do get Slugma, Morpeko, and a Bidoof. We see an Iron Bundle open. Doesn't really tell us what our opponent's playing, but we can guess that it's... Oh, Capturing Aroma. I was going to say I was going to guess it's Chien-Pal, but I guess we'll see. I don't feel like Chien-Pal typically plays Capturing Aroma, so it could be Lugia. It is. Alright. You get the tails. They'll be able to grab themselves the Lugia here if they don't already have it. And then what we might end up doing here is I wanted to research, but since they're already adding the pieces to hand, I might want to just go Iono here to make it potentially a little bit harder for them to find. So we'll go energy onto the Slugma. We can use the EXP share onto Morpeko, since when we get our Aromage, we'll be able to move energy off the bench anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We get Slugma. we can Buddy Poffin for another 2 pieces. And then what we can do here is do a little peek. And we won't discard that because that could be helpful for next turn. We can go ahead and draw in. I don't even think there's anything in our discard pile, though. There isn't. So then on our next turn, what we can do is we can go ahead and Ultra Ball away the Super Rod and the Energy in order to find ourselves the Bidoof, or Bibarel rather. We'll see what they do first before we make like a full-fledged plan. But we'll be able to Magma Basin onto one of the Slugma. There's an Ultra Ball. They do get rid of a Lugia V-Star. Okay, so there's the Luminion for potentially a research. We'll see what they end up adding to their hand. But my guess would be that it's probably... Oh, they go Iono. So whatever's in the... Whatever those 2 cards are is something they really want to keep. This works out for us. Pretty much to the same vein. Put Lugia into the active. They can go ahead and... that's fine. We can just place another Slugma into the active. We'll have the... We'll most likely be able to get into Charcadet. So there's Ride the Wind. They do get 1 Archeops in the discard pile. So first things first, what we can do here is we can evolve. We'll Ultra Ball 1 Energy and the Buddy Poffin away. Get ourselves the Bibarel. We can manually attach to Magcargo. We can go... We do have the option to Iono again and just keep disrupting their hand, which may not be a bad option. Or we can guarantee the knockout here, because we can go Ciphermaniac here, grab ourselves the Armarouge, and I guess it's not guaranteed. Yeah, we're gonna do it. So we'll grab ourselves the Armarouge, and we'll grab ourselves the Magma Basin. Draw ourselves some cards with Industrious. We can evolve into Armarouge. We'll be able to Magma Basin, putting the damage onto the Armarouge. Then what we can do is fire off, moving all that energy onto the Magcargo. Then we can check our top deck with Morpeko. We will discard the Ultra Ball, give ourselves a little bit of better chance here. We will Burning Ground. Unfortunately, we don't get it. So we'll see what's in their top deck, or like what they're able to make. The main reason why we were willing to risk that is, realistically, like, they can get Archeops here, but they can't really KO me, since they don't have a Chinchino, like, prepared. So I'm not too worried. Yeah, and there's going to be the concede. Alright, well, kind of a weak game one. Our opponent didn't get into their pieces, but that's just kind of what's going to happen with Lugia. It can brick pretty hard sometimes. Unfortunately, if we had gotten the top deck on the energy and knocked this out, we would have been in an incredible spot, but honestly, we were in an okay one, because even if they got double Archeops there, we were in position that we could always have a Magcargo ready to go. We would just kind of be able to get to our pieces, so we would have been okay. Obviously, Lugia is very strong, so it could have been a difficult game, but you know, it is what it is. So that's gonna be game one, kind of a weak one, but we'll jump into game two in a second, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. All right, we're into game number two. Our opponent's gonna be going first. We open Ultra Ball and not much else, so we'll see what we get off our top deck. There's the Monkey Dory. There's the Dark Energy. Ultra Ball for Chansey. Yep. So there's the Chansey. It's nice that we already see one Charon's Care taken care of. They don't get too much off their hand, so that's also nice for us. We'll go ahead and Ultra Ball away. We'll Ultra Ball away 2 energy. And grab ourselves... Do we want the Greninja? Yeah. May as well, right? We'll concealed cards away the last one. Much better. We can Nest Ball here. Get ourselves Bidoof. We can go ahead and Iono. Obviously, it helps them a little bit, but we can assume they have a supporter in hand that's going to do that for them anyway. We do get the Magcargo. We can place the energy down. We can go grab ourselves the Chardon and the Morpeko. And then from here, we can Snack Sneak. It is an energy on top deck. We will not... Yeah, we won't discard that. Then what we can do is draw in, attach, and pass our turn. So our Slugma could get knocked out here, but I don't think the chances are too high. Like they're decent, but not incredible. They can go Arven here. There's an Ultra Ball and a Turbo Energy. So likely likely our Slugma's fine. They Ultra Ball away a second time for Boss and Charon's Care. Which is definitely a risky move. There's the Turbo Energy. They place the Dark down. They power themselves up. We will be able to knock out the Monkey Dory here, though. Which is pretty big, because we know that we're drawing into the energy. We can go ahead and place that down. We can evolve our Bibarel. We will Snack Sneak. We don't need to hold it out for later because we know that we will KO this no matter what. We will not discard the Research since that would be very nice to draw. We can go ahead and Bibarel. We do get the Codebreaking, which means I actually want to hold off for right now. Yeah. So I think this is the play I'm going to make. I'm going to get rid of these. Guarantee myself... Oh, my Aromage is prized. Okay, don't love that. We'll just grab another Slugma then. We'll Ground Burn here. Because I want to be able to... Ooh, getting rid of the Arven is pretty nice. I really want to save my Codebreaking. So that way I can guarantee an energy on the top deck. And if I'm able to draw into the max belt or something like that, then I'll be in a great spot. Unfortunately, I just got rid of my Switch. Just to get counter-catchered, and then my Bibarel got knocked out. So, a sequence of unfortunate events. Definitely not what we would love to happen, but again, as long as we can get into our max belt, we're totally fine. We will Pokégear here, see what else we can find. There's a second Codebreaking, which is pretty nice for us. We'll go ahead and Codebreaking. So we will put down energy on top, max belt on the bottom. That way we know we're drawing into max belt on our next turn. Then we can go ground burn. There's one energy. Artisan. If we got another energy, that would have been so sick. If we had Bibarel, that would have been great. Obviously, things didn't exactly go according to plan, but we will guarantee ourselves all the KOs for the remaining as the game goes on. They can Arven here, so that means the Charon's Care isn't going to happen, which is nice. There is a Nest Ball for a new Chansey, I'm guessing. Yep. They go EXP share onto the Chansey. Dark Energy. So they'll be able to move off 60 damage. Which means we are at risk of getting KO'd sooner rather than later, so we have to make sure we're powering up Slugma on our next attack. Meaning that we actually don't need the Ciphermaniac anymore. At least not for this individual moment. So we'll probably just go research, since we want to be able to set up new options. They're putting damage onto the Morpeko. Interesting. There's the return. So yeah, we need to set ourselves up a new Magcargo. There's the max belt. We'll actually throw that down onto this Slugma since we are already guaranteed the KO pretty much. Then what we can do is we'll go Morpeko real quick. We do not want the Buddy Poffin, so we can go ahead and discard that. We can go research here. We find ourselves another energy. We'll go ahead and Earthen Vessel. We'll get rid of the research at this point to go double energy. Yeah. We'll grab ourselves 2 energy. That way we can manually attach onto the Slugma. We can concealed cards. Get ourselves 2 more. We do have the Defiance Band. So we can go ahead and ground burn here. We get rid of another Charon's Care, that's pretty big. We do take the knockout here. Grab 2 more prizes. We get a Romage and another Fire Energy. So thanks to that, we have the Mel as well, so we will be able to power up our new Slugma. The main issue now. Okay, actually that's not even that bad for us. We do have the research. So, as long as we can find an energy and one magma basin, we're also fine in this situation. So we'll lead Slugma. We do need our other Magcargo, though. Alright, so there's the Magma Basin. That's pretty big for us. We can go research here. We get ourselves the Magcargo. We can Buddy Poffin here for a new Bidoof. Ultra Ball, this and this, in order to get ourselves the Armarouge. That way we can go Armarouge, Magma Basin, and then at this point, I think it's worth more to not attack. Right? Yeah, I think it's worth more not to attack here. Because realistically, all that does, like, all attacking here does is, like, allow them to move all the damage counters around Monkey Dory. When we don't need to do that because we know we can guarantee the one-shot later. And we know we're about to draw into Bibarel anyway. So if we knock out the Blissey here, just, like, flat out, then we already know, like, they don't have another one prepared. And if it just comes down to just, like, Monkey Dories on the bench, that doesn't really matter to us. They go Iono. That only sucks because we're not guaranteed our Bibarel anymore. Never mind. There's the Nest Ball. That will get them the new Chansey. Which we're not super pleased about, but that just is what it is. We'll go Slugma here, Bibarel, and then we can draw with Barrel, place the energy down. We can go Magma Basin to start to power up the new Slugma. Obviously, I'd love if I could get into like an Iono here or something, but that's just not going to happen. So what we'll do is we'll Super Rod for one Magcargo and 2 energy just to up our chances, because we only need 1. And then what we can do is Snack Sneak here. We will discard that, since even if we use it, it'll just make us deck out. So there's really no point. We can go Ground Burn here. And we do flip the energy. Huge. So we guarantee the KO here. We get 2 more prizes. We go down to 1. So it doesn't even matter if they, like, even if they knock us out here, right? We don't need to knock out another Chansey, because as long as we don't get Iono'd, we'll be able to just go Boss's Orders. We have the Jet Energy. We can put Slugma right into the active. We can Magma Basin, get ourselves into a new Magcargo, and go from there. So all we need to do is draw into the Magcargo we put in our deck. And with how many resources we have, in order to get rid of our hand, like, all that kind of stuff, we should be totally fine to do that. Alright, so there's the Iono, which means all we have to do now is find the boss. Which will be a little bit harder to do, for sure. Okay. So there's the Fire Energy. We'll go ahead and slap the Defiance Band down. That doesn't really matter. We'll go Concealed cards first. There's the Iono. We obviously don't want that because we want to be able to boss his orders. So we will throw the energy down. We will look at the top card of our deck with Morpeko. It is the Magcargo, but at this point that doesn't matter because, again, we are just looking for the boss since we already have one in the active. So we can Industrious here. And we find the boss. We find two of them, actually. I didn't even know our odds were that good. We can go ahead and place the boss's orders down. Pull up the Monkey Dory. We can go ahead and Ground Burn again. Guaranteeing the KO. We get rid of their Survival Brace. Get the KO, and win the game. So, pretty huge that they didn't have the double colorless there, but even if they did, the scenario's all the same, because we would have picked up the Magcargo, been able to place that down, and pretty much do the exact same play. So, we were good to go there. So, very intense game 2, very close, but we were in position to kind of end it out, carry the game over. So, yeah, that's game 2, guys, and I will see you guys in game 3 in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're in a game number 1. Or 2, rather, and we'll see what our opponent's playing in a moment. I had to sneeze so bad there. That's why I had to... That's why there's like a pause. I had to mute myself like twice because I thought I was about to sneeze. We are going to mulligan this hand away, so that's actually for the best because this... Had this been a basic, this would have been a god-awful hand. We get to reshuffle. This is pretty much the exact same thing, but with a slight variation. We do have the Slugma, though. We have the Pokégear with a couple energies. The Ciphermaniac will be okay. We do see the Iron Leaves. Interesting. We'll Pokégear. We will grab ourselves the Iono for sure. We'll attach the energy and pass. So on our next turn, we will go Magcargo, energy, and Iono. And then play with whatever we get. I'm curious to see what they're playing. Okay, it's some sort of Lost Zone deck. They just happen to have Iron Leaves in it for potentially hitting dark types like Charizard if they run into it. Though I haven't really seen any Charizard anymore. And I still think it's a strong deck. Like, I don't think there's a reason to... Ooh. Use the Ditto. That's pretty cool. You know, Cram. Energy to retreat. Theoretically, they can go Comfey, switch cart, Comfey again, switch cart, and knock us out with Cramorant. If that happens, then that's just really tragic, and there's nothing we can do about it. Okay, thank God that didn't happen. That would have made me so sad. We go Magcargo, energy, and we Iono. We still don't get ourselves... we get ourselves some stuff. We'll go Charden and Bidoof. We can go Greninja. Play the Magma Basin down. Go ahead and Concealed cards. We'll get rid of the Fire Energy. Draw ourselves 2 more. That's actually pretty big. We get Slugma and Morpeko. Then what we can do is Magma Basin, throw the energy onto the Charden, And then we can snack sneak here, just to see what our top deck is going to be. It's going to be a Defiant Band. We don't really care about that, so we'll say no. And we will hot Magma to knock out the Comfey. Taking prize card 6. Just a normal Nest Ball. We don't really care too much about that. We will be able to... We'll attach the Jet Energy to Magcargo, and then after that we can concealed cards to throw away the Fire Energy, making it ready to use with Magma Basin, and then go from there. It's kind of funny that this card isn't affected by weakness. It'd be so, like, I get that it can't, because then it would be, like, low-key broken. But imagine if it could hit for weakness, and it's just doing 220 damage to anything that has the water weakness pretty much for free whenever it wants. That'd be, like, absolutely crazy. They get rid of the Max Belt. There's the Banette in order to get themselves the Chorus again. And it puts all the pieces into the Lost Zone. This is a really, really smart tech that Lost Zone players have started doing, and I'm kind of surprised it took so long for it to be discovered. Not saying that I discovered it, like, I'm not that smart either, but it is really interesting. They get rid of one Giratina V and one Mirage Gate. We see 2 Grass Energies out of play currently. One permanently, one temporarily. They may decide to give up another Comfey here. They go Ultra Ball. They can get themselves into a Giratina V. If they do, it'd be kind of cool if we could dig ourselves into a boss, pull that up right away, and then just go for the knockout. They discard 1V, so I assume they're not getting another one. The art for this is so sick. I know this card in like IRL is super expensive, but it's so sick. They go Greninja. Kind of weird. Like, they're trying to dig deeper. But they already have 7 cards. This will be 8, 9. I guess once they do this, though, it'll free up bench space anyway. So they could still go Giratina here. They Lost Vacuum away the Magma Basin. So they do have the 10 card requirement, which is not bad. We get the Defiant Band. We don't really care. We can go ahead and Greninja here. We get the Aromage. It's pretty nice for us. We don't really care about any of the rest of this. Eh. We can go ahead and research. We get ourselves the Bibarel. We get another Magma Basin, which is pretty nice. We don't need to use it right this second, so I'll hold on to it. And we will go... We'll get rid of 1 energy and the Ultra Ball in order to grab the Magcargo. Place that down. Actually, we are going to Magma Basin here. Placing this onto the Magcargo. Just so that way, if anything happens... We'll be fine to like set up our next Magcargo. We have the Ciphermaniac for next turn. And we'll Snack Sneak here. It is an Iono. We don't really care if this gets discarded. We're going to Ground Burn anyway. And we don't need to hit an energy, so we can let it get discarded there. We do hit a water energy on their side, though, so do a little extra damage. And then what's nice is, like I said, we have the Ciphermaniac already in hand, so if they, at any point, bring Giratina into the active, we do have the guaranteed KO on it. And then we also have the boss in deck in order to pull up the Iron Leaves and hit that for weakness, so we don't even need an energy if we're going to be targeting that. There's the Colorless Experiment. So we're pretty much good to go here. We'll see what they decide to do. It would make sense for them to finally set up a Giratina, though they keep refusing to. That art's kind of cool. I feel like I haven't seen that before. It's interesting looking. I don't know if I love it. I feel like I like the other art more. Okay, so they're gonna go Sableye and try to get damage that way. I mean, that's fine. They can do 120, so they could take out the Aromage here if they so choose to. Which wouldn't be a bad play. It does mean that both of our Magcargos are still live, though. And they have a 6-card... or like a 6 prize card comeback they have to make, where we're essentially at 2 prize cards at all times because we have the ability to boss up the Iron Leaves and remove it. So it's not like we need to knock out 4 single prizers over and over again. So there's the Gen Energy, brings in Comfey, they can Flower Selecting again. We haven't seen their A-Spec of choice yet, I don't believe. Oh, no, we did. That was their max belt. So, I'm curious to see where they'll spread the damage around, because they could take out the Morpeko here. They could put everything onto Bibarel if they like. They could knock out the Aromage. There's a Super Rod. It would make sense for them to put Water Energy back. So that way they could go Greninja, Mirage Gate, knock out the Magcargo on the active and the Morpeko. So that's 3, 4 total prize cards if they do it that way. So, like, they could Sableye here, knock out... What? Why did they put them on Comfey? Alright, so they're going to knock down the Aromage. I mean, that's fine. I'm so confused. Why did they put the energy onto the Comfey? They did shuffle the water energy back in. Alright. We'll put that down. We can go ahead and I think we Ciphermaniac here to grab the boss. We just grab double boss. That way we can play the Slugma down. Draw that with Industrious for next turn. Then what we can do is get rid of the Buddy Poffin and the Iono. We'll grab ourselves the Magcargo for next turn. Obviously that will shuffle the other boss around, but we really just wanted to make sure we had the one on the top. Then what we can do is Magma Basin. Set that up so our next Magcargo is ready. And then we will just check to see what we're about to discard. It is an energy. So we can go ahead and ground burn. We get rid of a counter catcher, that's pretty big. And we take one more prize. Another energy. Okay, so the correct play here would be to go Greninja, bring that into the active. You hit for weakness, so you can do the 180 here. Take the knockout onto this Magcargo, and then you can place it onto either the Slugma or the Morpeko. Take another prize, so that's 3. Bring yourself down to 2. I come in with the new Magcargo. Oh, are they gonna Thornton it into, like, Giratina V? Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Not as efficient, though, because you're not going to get all 3 prizes here. That, like, you could have gotten. So what we can do here is just bring in the new Magcargo. We do have the boss's orders available, so we could choose to just take the 2 prizes right off the gate right now, which is what we might end up doing here. We'll go ahead and Industrious. We can Magma Basin. And then what we'll do is we'll check out the top of our deck. If it's an energy, we stay in. If it's not, we boss's orders. It's not. So what we'll do is we'll discard it. We'll go ahead and boss. Pull this up. We can go ahead and we'll attach just to guarantee. We can ground burn here. Guarantee the 2 prizes. And really why we want to do that is because we want to make sure we take 2 prizes here. Because if we're able to find the other boss on our next turn, which should be in our deck, it doesn't really matter whether we can KO the Giratina or not. All we have to do is pull up like the Comfey and we're good to go. We have all the energy we need in order to power up our new Magcargo. An Ultra Ball. They could go Ursaluna as well. That art's pretty cool. Going Sableye doesn't make a difference. And if we top deck an energy, then that's also fine for us, since we get the KO pretty much guaranteed. We can attach. We go Magcargo. Now it's one prize. There's the Ciphermaniac, which actually works out for us. What we'll end up doing here is that we can just Ciphermaniac, and we will put the energy on top. We'll max belt on the bottom, doesn't really matter. We can go ahead and ground burn, knowing for a fact that we're going to remove the energy, hit for 280, and take the final prize. So I pretty much just can end the game right there. Takes our Bidoof as our final prize card, and closes it out. So, pretty good game. I can't remember if this is game 1 or game 2. Or, not game 1. I know that it's not game 1. Can't remember if it's game 1. What? What am I saying? But, yeah, so whatever. We'll do one more game, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. What's going on, guys? I know that I said we would do one more game. I actually did not realize what time it is. It's getting kind of late, and since we have the tournament later on tonight, that I hope you guys can all enter. I'm actually out of time. I have things I have to do before I begin the tournament for all of you, so I have to kind of close it out. Unfortunately, we're only going to do 3 games in this video, and yeah, sorry about that, but just wanted to come in and kind of explain that. Like I said, we have the tournament later tonight, though, that I'm very excited to be able to play for you guys, and so yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Definitely let me know what you want to see next, and be sure to enter the tournament and join our Discord, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Peace out.